Hi Dennis, we're here today at Kazantip Republic. How do you like it so far?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, what's not to like? The weather is great, the parties are great, the people are great. It's a pleasure to be here.
So Dennis, you played a lot in Russia and in the Ukraine. So what makes the crowds really different and stand out here in Eastern Europe?
Well, what they really love here is to really dress up for the party. They know how to have a good time. They really are enjoying themselves when I'm playing. They really participate in what I'm doing. I love it. It's good.
So your track, "The Sound of Violence," is actually one of the soundtracks of the social network in the US on Facebook. How did it happen?
Well, it actually happened in a very curious way, actually. Thanks to Gareth Emery. Thanks, Gareth. My song was on his compilation, and somehow it got picked up in Hollywood. And well, the rest is kind of history. So we had a lot of views on Facebook, and it's now also co-signed for the new series Nikita, which will be out, I think, next year.
Super. So besides a DJ, you're actually a big producer of records. So how many hours do you spend in your studio?
Well, it depends. I mean, sometimes I make tunes on the plane or in my hotel room. That's actually how Sound of Violence was born. I think it's just that sometimes it's 2 hours a night, sometimes it's like 10 hours a day. I don't really keep track. It's just when the inspiration hits me, I'm there.
You're also one of the founders of Beat Freaks, which has a lot of hit scores in all over Europe. So what's the biggest difference in the sound of Beat Freaks and Dennis Christopher in 2011?
Well, I mean, Beat Freaks was a hit because it actually suited. It was at the right place at the right time. And I think if you listen now more toward trends, people are, I don't know, getting more into the minimal or progressive a little bit. I personally think it's getting back to the old school house again. And yeah, of course, I just love to play what people do want to hear at the parties, and I want to have them to have a good time. So I don't know what the future will bring, but it will just bring the same old happy vibe as before, but with a little more sophistication maybe.
So you joined Amsterdance as a resident artist, as a headliner artist. So what do you expect from Amsterdance for this year, and you know, what is the next upcoming gigs?
Well, I think since I joined them, I'm actually very proud to be part of this whole new way of thinking. I think it would be excellent to show people what Amsterdam is like, how tolerant it is, how open it is to a lot of cultures, music and everything. And I think that's something we should support for the coming years to come. I know I have some gigs planned in the Ukraine and in the States very time soon, so I'll be looking forward to it.
Next to Dennis Christopher, you also use the alias Dennis de Laat, which is actually also your sort of a regular name. Yeah. So what was the difference between the style between Dennis Christopher and Dennis de Laat?
Well, it's actually still the same, but it's a little bit more tougher. It's a little bit more progressive than people may be used to, but it's still the same. It's like Eric Prydz. Eric Prydz has Prida and Eric Prydz. It's still Eric Prydz. So that's actually the same with me.
So Amsterdam is a really global club touring concept. So it's going from China to US. Is there a specific region as an artist and with Amsterdam that you want to focus on the next coming years?
Yeah, the North Pole. No,
I heard that's really booming at the moment, right?
Yes. Well, actually, all my fans are actually at the South Pole, the little penguins. No, I mean, the one thing I really like about traveling to all the different continents is that you have all the different cultures are actually joined by the love of music. And although you may have some prejudices or something, you know, from where you grew up in, everywhere you go, people are actually the same. And that's something I really like. And people respond to music in the same way. And that's so cool, and that's one of my biggest addictions so far.
So Dennis, what are your ambitions the next coming years? What can we expect from you and where do you want to go?
Well, I'm gonna be producing more nicer records. There are gonna be some new releases on different labels that people are used to. So I'm gonna still be releasing on Spinning and Confidence, but also one of my new tracks is coming out on Strictly Rhythm. We're working on a new album. Yeah, and I hope to tour a lot this year and visit more nice places like Kazantip.
And last question about the style of Dennis Christopher, because you have a large variety in style. So tell us about that.
Well, I'm a bit of a split personality, and I know I have a hard and a soft side. So yeah, I don't know. It's just unpredictable. The Italians call it capriccioso, and that's I don't know. It's capricious, and that's something like me. I mean, I love to see what the mood of the crowd is before I start playing, and then anticipate with that. I mean, for me, it's just one big experiment when you are playing.
So for tonight, what do you have in mind for Kazantip, one of the biggest stages here?
Well, I was actually quite surprised with how incredibly cool the stage is. Big LED screens and everything, and actually all it made me think about was going back to the old school, like the big warehouse sound. And I just want to get the toughness of the progressive in there, but mix it with nice themes and warmth. That for me is something I'm going to be doing tonight.
Thanks, Dennis. We're going to enjoy the show tonight.
Guys, take care. Thank you, Amsterdance.